Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is the bassist, songwriter, and original founding member of the band, the Jake Ash Band, and it was originally formed in 2013 by four Brockton firefighters who just basically wanted to play some country music on their days off. They're doing way better than that. Please welcome Paul Gardner. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
I
Thank you
am.
for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. So, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. This I love your show, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I watch on YouTube. I follow you on Twitter. I'm always like into all the people you interview, and I'm very excited that you are allowing me to come on and talk about the band.
Well, I love your music, so it's a good thing you're on then because we both like each other. Now, okay, so you guys, like, basically in 2013, there was four of you who were firefighters.
Yeah,
And like I said, you decided to play some country music on your days off, and it quickly turned into way more than that. Um,
it did.
yeah, tell me about
Well,
that.
well, okay. Basically, back around 2012, me and a couple of my close friends on the fire department, we were talking about starting a band. Now, I had never played an instrument before, and I was 40 years old, and I like, wow, I want to play. I love music my whole life. Like, I mean, all styles. I grew up on country music, even though I'm from the Boston area. My dad just loved Johnny Cash, loved Merle Haggard, and you name it, everything from Willie Nelson to uh, Kenny Rogers, and like all those type of musical influences on me when I was young, as well as like Led Zeppelin and Van Halen and all the rock music that I listened to. But so I always loved country music, and right around 2010, 2011, in the Boston area, country music really started to take over as the new thing. Like, there's three country stations in the Boston area, and it's all over the place. So it was easier to start listening to country, and I'd been attending concerts for a while. So me and my buddies, we like, let's start a band. And like, I thought, yeah, I can play bass because there's only four strings. It's got to be easy, right? And they're like, yeah, I guess so. If you want to play bass, we could try. So anyway, I took to it. I taught myself how to play, and we started, messing around in my friend's garage. We learned a couple songs, and it was fun. But I caught the bug, and one of the guys, he left after like 2 months. We kind of like half started a band, half didn't start a band, but it was like, I can't keep up with this. So there were three of us at that point, and we reached out to a friend of ours who sings. He was a solo musician all around the Boston area, and I've been friends with him for many years, and I reached out to him and asked if he would like to just come, jam with us and maybe start a little band with eyes of like maybe playing once a year a bunch of cover songs and things like that for like Firefighter events or a small bar or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he loved the idea because he loves country music as well. So he showed up at the first practice, and we played about 10 songs, and it was unbelievable. Like, it was such a great feeling to be able to play these songs, and it just kind of took off from that point. So we practiced for about, I'd say, 2.5 months, maybe at least twice a week. And Ken, who is the lead singer, said, I got us a gig. And that was kind of like, whoa, this is really happening. We're really going to play in front of like our friends and everything. So we ended up playing our first show right around, I would say it was November of 2013. It was just before Thanksgiving. We played at a little pub, J.P. Ryan's Pub, which is in our home area.
Mm-hmm.
And we it was packed. There were so many people who came out to watch us play, and we couldn't believe it. And everyone liked it, and they wanted us back. So it kind of just, like, it picked up. Like, just from there, like, we ended up learning more songs. We ended up booking more shows. And by, let's say, March or April, we were, like, being inundated with, like, you know, we wanted people, can you play this bar? Can you play this bar? Like, because it was, the word of mouth was spreading.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty overwhelming. It was pretty overwhelming,
I guess.
especially since we just thought we were going to, you know, just kind of mess around in the garage, just something to do on some off time, just to, like, because firefighting can be very stressful, especially in our city. We are so busy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy some of the things we see and do. So it's nice to blow off steam every now and then.
I would imagine, yeah.
To you know, something like that. So, but anyway, I'll get to the naming of the band actually.
Yeah, because I asked you about this because I'd never heard it.
It
Yeah.
was kind of funny. We call ourselves. We're trying to think of what to name ourselves, and the guy who was like one of the first ones to leave, he came up with the name, the Jake Ash Band. My friend Brian, and he still comes to the shows all the time. He loves it.
Mm-hmm.
But he came up with the Jake Ash Band, and it's kind of a play on words. Firefighters, some people may or may not know, a term, like a nickname for a firefighter is a Jake. So we decided to incorporate Jake Ash. It's kind of a play on words as in Johnny Cash, Jay Cash. It kind of just fit. So we went the Jake Ash Band, and everyone always asks us who Jake is.
Yeah, I did.
No Jake, essentially, in the band. We always point to Ken, our lead singer, like he's Jake, like Hootie and the Blowfish type thing. But so that's how the name came about, and it just took off. So by, I'd say, the summer of 2013, we had at least 3 to 4 gigs booked each month through the rest of the year, and it was kind of overwhelming in a great way. But it started kind of getting overwhelming for for the other 2 firefighters who were still left in the band. My friend Mike, who's the guitarist, he kind of like reluctantly started playing rhythm guitar with us, and then he kind of took over the lead guitar, and it was starting to get way over his head. So he just wanted to be rhythm guitar, and so we went out and we found a lead guitarist to join the band. And he came on for a little while, and you know, he wasn't a big country music fan, but the band just, with the addition of that first true lead guitarist, that's when we took off.
Mm-hmm.
So after, I'm trying to think of the timeline of when Mike decided he couldn't keep up anymore, and he kind of left the band because it was getting over his head.
Mm-hmm.
And the time constraints and all that stuff. So it was probably around 2015. So he was in the band for about 2 years.
Okay.
In the final firefighter left about a year after that, which was probably the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, was our drummer. It just got too advanced for him as well. But it's mostly because we have such a big schedule, and we started writing our own music, which I'll get to in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But that is why I'm the last firefighter left in the band. But the name stayed. It's always going to stay, and hopefully it takes off from there. If I could get people to listen to our songs, it's a great secret. I wish someone would share with all the rest of the musicians in the world how to get everyone to hear your songs. But it's a fun event. I mean, it's so fun to play music for people, especially music that we wrote, which, like I said, I'll get to that in a moment about the songwriting. But I'll finish off like where our band is right now. In 2015, we hired a fiddle player slash co-lead singer, and her name is Renee Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
She actually moved to the Boston area from Buffalo, and she was playing in another band that kind of folded, but they were kind of friends of ours, and she was looking for, to keep playing, and it kind of just fell together where she sat in with us one night, and everyone loved it. So she turns out that is a paramedic. So she's in EMS and first responder, and kind of fits with the band.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool, actually, to that she saves lives during the day and sings at night. But
Yeah, that is cool.
she has been a massive addition to the band. Like, it pushed us into a whole new realm, like with our own music. And our lead guitarist right now and it's going to be until the band is no longer, is Paul Tukowski. He learned when we lost our other lead guitarist. It was like a last minute thing. He just kind of left. I can't do this anymore. I'm moving. We had a bunch of gigs lined up, and we kind of hit up Paul because he was a friend of ours. It's like, can you learn a few songs for a gig we have next week?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, sure. And all right, good. So we gave him a 40-song set list to learn, and he learned it in a week. And,
Wow.
it was unbelievable, and he just it clicked. He's such a nice guy, and it just all clicked together. So he took the ball and ran, and he fit right in the band perfectly, and it's just been going great ever since. Our songwriting started in 2014. Like I said, I was a new musician, and I didn't know I could write a song. I didn't know that I even knew how to put together a song. I've always liked to write, but songs are different. But one day I was sitting at work, and it was the middle of the night. We got back from a call, and I was just sitting there, I was tired, but I couldn't. We'd been running around all day, so I just had to. It was football season was coming along, and I just got my season tickets to the New England Patriots in the mail actually that day, and I was kind of excited about it, looking forward to this coming season, and I started thinking about what the whole event of football is around this area. It's a tailgate party.
Uh-huh.
You leave the house so early in the morning, and it's just a long, fun day. And I kind of put some words down, not thinking much of it. It's it kind of might be a cool song. So after a few weeks of mustering up the courage, I went up to Ken, our lead singer, because I thought he was going to laugh at me if I showed him a song that I wrote. And I'm like, hey, Ken, I wrote a song. Do you mind checking it out? I kind of need you to put it to music because I don't really know how to put it to the right music for your voice or whatever. So maybe you can look at it and see if it's anything. So he kind of chuckled a little bit and teased me. But then he looked at the words and he started playing along. This is great. You wrote this? You really wrote this? And I'm like, yeah. I can't believe it. And he threw the music on to my words, and we played it out the following week, and everyone loved it. And it's called the Tailgate Song.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our first song that we wrote as a band, put together as a band, and that just got the bug of songwriting. And I didn't realize how much I would love it. It's people asked us to hear that song when we would play out because they saw us play wherever a month before and say, you played a song about football and did you play that? I'm like, oh yeah, it was such a great feeling.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we decided to try and record it.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up, it took maybe 8 months between the time it was written and to the time we finally finished it up and released it out. And it just, people loved it. And I still to this day can't believe people loved it, but they do. And it was just such a gratifying feeling to know that people liked to hear songs that came out of my head and and I can't even explain it. And I'm sure that's the running feeling for every musician. I can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But so I started writing more songs, and one of the songs you'll hear that you're going to play in a little while is called "Friend of a Friend." I wrote that. We put that together, and again, everyone loved that, and so it kind of has taken off. So we put all our songs together. We recorded them and released an EP this past December.
Mm-hmm.
5-song EP. It was released just before Christmas, and it includes like the first 3 singles that we had released, and then 2 new songs we put on there. We thought about doing an album, but we didn't quite have all the material like completely ironed out. We have like 25 other songs that were in all different stages of the recording process, from like just beginning to record it to figuring out what instruments we want to put on. So we decided to put on an EP first and then just get used to the recording process, because I've never recorded. And it was very eye-opening experience and fun experience, like producing like a song and pulling something out of my head and talking to the band about it, and they putting it together with music and then just putting all that on into the studio. It's been an amazing experience, and I can't wait to record all the other songs I've written.
Yeah,
So,
and that, I mean, you've had, you can hear your Boston accent every now and then, by the way. Which is, yeah, I can hear.
I can hear. You were the one with the accent.
I know, I
Sorry.
am the one. I'm Canadian. Of course, I have an accent. Eh? Anyways, no. Now you've got. So you've written. You and Ken have written over 20 original country songs. You have a Sunday songwriting session that you guys do.
Yes.
And we're going to be hearing a lot of new music coming up in the future. And now you have been also featured on 101.7 The Bull in Boston, Cape Country 104, and tons of numerous like internet radio stations. And you've also you've been recording, or you did record, I don't know if you're planning on doing it again, with New England producer Brad McCarthy. Yes,
Still Point Sound. He is a great producer. He actually he knows our style. He knows how our vibe that we give off, and sometimes he'll make little changes. He's not just someone, because I've heard horror stories about different producers and stuff that just, you go into the studio and they just press record, and whatever it is you play, that's what they put down, and they try and work with that a little bit. But no, Brad makes so many suggestions, like, why don't you try like this? Or why don't you shorten this or add that, or you know what I mean? He's been such a great producer, and he really brought the most out of our songs, and we definitely would like to keep working with him.
Awesome.
He's so busy though.
Yeah, everybody is busy. I mean, life happens. Now, okay, first off, one question. Are you still a firefighter?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I work, I'm a full-time firefighter. I've been doing it for 17 years.
Wow.
Almost 18 years, and I kind of wish I'd been doing music a long time too. But I love being a firefighter. I love helping people. I love the excitement of not really knowing what is going to happen each day I go to work. I love some of the people who they're so appreciative when we help them. It's a very rewarding job.
Well,
very dangerous.
Yeah,
very
dangerous.
Scary sometimes. But
I couldn't imagine. Well,
great. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, thank you for doing that. I mean, especially thank you from Boston. I'm sure. Yeah.
It's not often that people like to thank firefighters every now and then, but when we show up somewhere and they need us, it's just a great feeling when we actually can help someone. So I love it. I would never change it.
Awesome. And I think it's so awesome that you're a firefighter and you're in this band. And same with same with Renee. She's a paramedic. Like it's kind of cool
Yeah.
that you guys are in this band together. I just think it's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So you've started this off not knowing how to play an instrument, not knowing how to write a song. Look at you guys now, because I think you guys are amazing. I love your songs. Now,
Thank you.
I just can't believe I can't believe that just four firefighters decided to get in a garage and start out and look at you now. So if you
I
had,
know, that's exactly it. That's exactly what happened.
yeah, no kidding, and it's just a cool story. Now, if you had any advice to give anybody, Paul, like that's just starting out in the industry or is thinking of it or is already in the industry, what kind of advice would you give them? Besides, we all want to know the secret on how to get people to hear everybody's
Right.
songs.
Maybe they could give me that advice.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, what I would say is, I guess it's kind of a cliche, but don't give up on a dream. I had no idea I could play music or write a song, and lo and behold, I can. And I would just recommend that anyone who wants to do something creative or like that they feel is too hard to get into, just keep doing it, keep trying, make the time to like pursue your passion, because you never know what will happen. Like the band has already made it beyond anything I'd ever dreamed it would make. And it's the possibility of moving even further along is there, and I can't even believe it. And I'm not going to stop trying, whether people want to hear my music or not. I'm not going to stop trying to make it, and I'm not going to let people tell me no, like, because why should I? Like, there's no reason. Like, just pursue your dreams, and I think, like, as long as you put the work in, it will pay off.
That's great advice. That is great
Thank
advice.
you.
And I think you have to. I mean, we only get one go around, right? So
That's it.
do what you
Sure.
love. Do what you love.
Started late, but I'm making the most of my
Oh
late
gosh,
start.
I did too. I did. I mean, this show is
Yeah,
my
that's
passion.
awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just gonna keep doing it because I love it.
Exactly. I love that. That's great.
Now, what two songs are we gonna hear from you, Paul?
You're going to hear Friend of a Friend, which was the second song I ever wrote, and basically Friend of a Friend. One day we were playing at a bar, it's called Damien's, and actually we filmed the video for this song in Damien's bar, so it's kind of like a whole little reenactment type thing, but we were standing at, like, playing, and I noticed, like, we notice everything when you're up front playing, and this guy kept staring at, like, this girl who apparently his friend knew, like, whether they were co-workers or what. They had said hi at the beginning, and so this friend of the other guy kept, like, staring at the girl, and he was asking his buddy, like, if she was single, and he's like, I don't know. Like, they were sitting right in front of us. I heard this was going on the whole night, and he said, I don't know. I think she's married or something to that effect, he said. And the other guy was like, oh, kind of stinks. But he kept staring at her. But lo and behold, like, I kept seeing that girl stare at him, like, when he didn't realize it. And I'm thinking in my head, what if two people, like, actually really liked each other, but neither one of them knew it, and neither one of them thought they had a chance at anything. And so I kind of thought that up in my head, and kind of, like, that night, I went home and I wrote down, like, some preliminary lyrics, and it kind of, it turned into a Friend of a Friend. So it's kind of a cute, funny song. It has a great video that goes along with it. If anyone wants to watch that, I'd love it, and love to hear some feedback on it, but it's a very catchy, poppy sounding song, and I hope everyone likes that.
It is. I love it.
The second song you're going to hear is called Bad Karma. And that, as a firefighter, we deal, we see a lot of sad things and a lot of, like, drug abuse, a lot of alcoholism. And I decided to think about, because we see a lot of, like, just lonely people sometimes, and I was thinking about the song, putting a song together based on someone who only friend is alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of just I wrote that in probably like 20 minutes, and the band put the music together, and it just kind of took a life of its own, and we added strings to that, and like our keyboard player, I have to say hi to our drummer Dennis Carteret and our new keyboard player slash multi-instrumentalist Mark Sylvia. These guys add so much to the recording process and the creativity of the band that this song, well, it just became like a. I'm not going to say epic because even though I just said it, I'm not going to say it. It just became like a from the heart. It just meant so much writing this song, and everyone felt the same way. So I hope everyone likes it. It's a sad song, but it's I think it's catchy too. I hope I get some feedback from everyone.
Well, I'll give you some feedback right now. How's that?
Thank you.
I absolutely love the song. I grew up with an alcoholic father, and it touched my heart like you would not believe, because it talks about, whiskey becoming your friend, and that alcoholism is like that. And I think it is an epic song. So I will say it. You don't have to say it. I'll say it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's an epic song. I absolutely, it is sad. I'm going to warn everybody now, like, it is sad, but it's true. And you can, I mean, I've lived it. You've seen it. It's
yeah, I see it all the time.
It's true.
It's real.
It is real.
It's a real thing.
And loneliness, you talk about loneliness in the song too, and it's just I think it's an epic song. So anyways, I will say it 10 million times. You're welcome.
I'm blushing,
Oh, stop, Paul. Yeah, okay. Anyways, thank you so much. Everybody can purchase your music online. You also have a website called thejakeashband.com. That's going to be up on my website. People can click on the link, go directly to your website, find out more stuff about you guys. I think you guys, just the way you guys formed your band is just a story in itself. So, and I think too, the songwriting aspect, because you're a firefighter still, and then you also have a paramedic, and then you have Ken, like, you've got so many different places to draw from to write. You know what I mean? It's going to relate to everybody, and I think that is just awesome. And I wish you guys the best. I mean, I hope to God I see you on CMT, and I see you, at the Country Music Awards and everything.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And just keep doing what you're doing, because I think you guys are amazing. So thank you so much for coming on my show, and I'm sure we're going to hear from you again. And yeah, just keep in contact. Anything new happens, you're more than welcome to come back on. And if you release a new single, I can help you promote that. I will do whatever I can to help you guys out. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Allie. This has been fun, and I thank you so much for sharing our music. And we love your show, and we're going to keep listening, and we'd love to come back on at some point.
Awesome. I can't wait. That'll be fun. I can't wait.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website, because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.